I felt him before I ever saw him. It was like the air itself shifted thicker, heavier, as though the forest recognized a predator long before my human senses caught up. My lungs refused to draw another breath, my body frozen as every instinct screamed the same warning. Run. But I didn't. I couldn't. Maybe it was curiosity, or maybe it was something far darker. The magnetic pull of a destiny. I had tried so hard to outrun. The night was mercilessly quiet. Not even the crickets dared to sing. The branches swayed high above me, their claws scraping against the black sky, and the moonlight spilled through in fractured silver shards. My boots sank into damp earth, leaving shallow impressions as I moved deeper into the clearing, as though something unseen guided me forward. That's when I felt it again, the weight of eyes on me. He stepped out from the shadows. The first thing I noticed was the way his presence filled the clearing, as though the trees themselves bowed to him. Broad shoulders, tall frame, and the kind of restrained power that made the air quiver. His eyes, golden, burning, caught mine and held me there, unblinking, unbreathing. A growl rumbled in the silence, low, dangerous. Yet it wasn't fear that coursed through me. It was heat, a pull so fierce it left me trembling. I should have turned and run back to the village. I should have screamed, prayed, something. But instead, I whispered, barely audible, "Who are you?" His lips curved, though it wasn't a smile, more like the cruel knowledge of a hunter cornering prey. The question. His voice was deep, rough, carrying the weight of command. Is who are you? Wandering into my territory under a full moon. Alpha. The word echoed in my mind, unspoken but undeniable. I had grown up on the stories. Warnings passed down like bitter medicine. Alphas ruled the packs, fierce and unyielding. Crossing them meant death. Binding yourself to them meant destruction. And yet, as his gaze devoured me, I felt every story splinter apart. Because I didn't see a monster. I saw a man my soul already knew. I took a shaky step back, but his eyes tracked me. Blazing. "You don't belong here," he said, each word edged with steel. He was right. I didn't. The village I came from thrived on superstition, rituals to keep the wolves away, talismans strung on doors to ward off what stalked the forest. They feared what lay beyond the tree line, and they had reason to. I wasn't like them, never had been. Not since the night my body first betrayed me. The hunger. The unbearable thirst that water could never quench. The way my skin burned when sunlight struck it too harshly. I had hidden it well. The crimson glint in my eyes when the moon swelled full. The way shadows seemed to cling to me as if recognizing one of their own. I wasn't fully wolf. I wasn't fully human. And the truth I buried deepest of all was that I wasn't untouched by the curse of blood. A secret that would destroy me if either world found out. Swallowed hard, forcing my voice not to tremble. Then maybe I should go. He tilted his head, studying me, as though dissecting every flicker of fear, every rapid beat of my heart. The moon caught on his jawline, sharp and ruthless, and the power radiating off him pressed into my bones. "You should," he agreed softly, almost to himself. Then his voice deepened, roughened. "But you won't." And God's help me, he was right again. Something about him was wrong, terrifyingly wrong. Yet it was the kind of wrong I couldn't turn from. My blood sang, my veins burning with recognition I couldn't explain. My body leaned toward him before my mind even realized it, betraying me with its need. He took a single step forward, closing the distance, and the night seemed to hold its breath. His scent earth, cedar, and something wild wrapped around me, dizzying. For a heartbeat I swore I saw the man's pupils flare, golden bleeding into black. His wolf lurked just beneath the surface, straining against control. And then, barely audible, he whispered, "Mine." The word slammed into me like a claim, binding and undeniable. My chest heaved, my lips parted, but no sound came. My heart warred with my mind, run, escape, fight. But my soul answered with silence. It already belonged to him. I didn't know what was more dangerous. The alpha standing before me, or the secret inside me that would make him hate me the moment he discovered it. But in that clearing, with his golden eyes burning through me, one truth carved itself into my bones. Nothing in my life would ever be the same again. The moment that single word mine left his lips, the ground beneath me might as well have split open. I should have run, screamed, anything to break the spell, but my body betrayed me. Every muscle locked, caught between terror and a hunger I had never felt so fiercely. I forced myself to take a breath, my voice catching. "You don't even know me." His expression didn't waver. Those golden eyes, molten with firelight, burned into mine as if he could see deeper than skin, deeper than secrets, into the marrow of who I was. "I don't need to," he said quietly, and the certainty in his tone chilled me more than any threat could have. "My Wolf has already chosen." Chosen. The word echoed through me, wrapping around my ribs, squeezing tight. A dangerous promise. A claim that would mean war if anyone else heard it. Wolves didn't just choose outside their kind. And they certainly didn't choose vampires. He didn't know what I was yet. I drew back, clutching my arms around myself, hoping the motion would mask the quickening beat of my heart. But he stepped closer, unrelenting, until the cold night air carried the heat of him. His hand lifted as though he might touch me, then stopped inches away, trembling with restraint. His jaw tightened, eyes darkening. "If you stay," he said, voice rough with conflict, "nothing will be the same for you, for either of us." The weight of his words pressed down harder than the night sky itself. A warning, a promise, a threat. And yet, underneath, something I couldn't name, a plea. I swallowed hard. "Then tell me why. Why do you look at me like you've already known me a lifetime?" For a moment, something flickered across his face, pain, longing, maybe both. But then he closed it off. The mask of alpha command slipping back into place. "Because I have." The air stilled. My skin prickled, every nerve alight with confusion, and something dangerously close to hope. "That's impossible," I whispered. His gaze lingered, searing me, before he finally looked away, as if the admission cost him too much. "Some things," he murmured, "are older than memory." The forest seemed to shift then, the silence broken by a distant howl. It rolled through the trees, sharp and guttural, and my blood iced. His head snapped up, eyes narrowing. The sound wasn't just a wolf calling into the night. It was a warning. "They've scented you," he growled, the softness in him vanishing in an instant. His entire frame bristled with violence, protectiveness, as he turned back to me. "You shouldn't be here. If they find you, they won't ask questions." Panic seized me, not just at the thought of his pack tearing into me, but at the possibility they might recognize what I really was. If they caught even a hint of the hunger inside me, the crimson hidden behind my eyes. "Go," he urged, voice low and sharp. Now. But I didn't move. Not because I didn't believe him, but because something in his tone kept me rooted. It wasn't just warning, it was fear. Not fear for himself. For me. I took a step closer before I could think better of it. "Why are you protecting me?" His eyes snapped back to mine, feral and unyielding. "Because you're mine," he said again, more fiercely this time. Then softer, almost broken. "Even if I shouldn't want you. Even if the bond destroys us both." The confession slammed into me, hotter than the threat of the pack circling the woods. My throat tightened, torn between denial and the aching truth. I wanted to tell him he was wrong, that whatever pull we felt was madness. But the words refused to form. My soul already knew better. The howl came again. Closer now, shattering the fragile moment. He swore under his breath, a guttural sound that sent a chill through me. They're hunting. Adrenaline surged through my veins. My secret pulsed at the edges, clawing to surface, to defend myself in ways I swore I never would. I couldn't let him see. Not yet. If he knew I carried the hunger of his natural enemy, this fragile thread between us would snap into blood, and Ashdod, his hand finally touched mine, then rough, calloused, burning against my skin. Electricity shot up my arm, stealing my breath. Trust me, he demanded, his voice like iron and fire. Every instinct screamed against it. But my heart, my cursed, traitorous heart, whispered yes. Before I could answer, shadows moved at the edge of the clearing. Shapes, swift and sharp, weaving between trees. Wolves. His pack. My pulse hammered as golden eyes flickered in the darkness. Too many to count. His grip tightened, pulling me behind him, his body a shield. Stay close, he ordered, low and savage. I should have run. I should have left him to the pack's fury. But instead, I clung to him, breathless, caught in the storm of something far greater than either of us. And deep inside, beneath the terror, one truth unfurled with terrifying clarity. This wasn't just chance. This was fate, cruel and undeniable. The clearing erupted with growls. Shapes broke through the trees, their eyes glowing like scattered embers in the dark. One by one, wolves padded forward, massive, bristling, their teeth bared. Their scent was sharp, wild, and overwhelming. My stomach twisted, a primal terror clawing at me, but I couldn't let it show. If they saw weakness, they'd tear me apart. If they smelled what I truly was, it wouldn't just be my life on the line. My alpha stepped in front of me. His body rigid, every muscle coiled. His presence alone was enough to make the pack hesitate, their growls dipping into uneasy silence. But hesitation wasn't surrender. They circled, low and menacing, testing the air. One wolf shifted, his form cracking into human shape, flesh replacing fur under the moonlight. A man now stood among them, dark-haired, scar cutting across his jaw. His voice was harsh, defiant. "Why are you protecting her?" The alpha didn't flinch. "She's under my protection," he said, each word edged in steel. The man snarled. "She's not one of us." Her scent. He broke off, nose twitching, suspicion flashing in his eyes. My heart stopped cold. Could he sense it already? The hunger lurking just beneath my skin? I stumbled back a step, desperate to hide, but the alpha's hand shot out, steadying me, pulling me behind him. His touch was fire, grounding me even as my chest constricted with panic. "She's mine," he growled, voice ringing through the clearing. A claim, a challenge. Gasps rippled through the wolves, their eyes widening. "Yours," the scarred one spat. "You would bind yourself to an outsider? To her?" The pack's growls rose again, low thunder shaking the air. They wanted blood. They wanted my blood. And then it happened. The scent of iron cut, sharp through the night. But Alpha's grip on my arm had tightened too hard, and beneath his palm, my skin had torn. Just a scratch, but enough. The sting lit a fire in my veins, and before I could stop it, the hunger ripped free. I felt my eyes burn, vision edged in crimson. My throat ached with a thirst, and a sharp gasp escaped my lips. Too loud, too damning. The scarred wolf froze. "No!" His face twisted in horror, then fury. She's not human. The clearing exploded into chaos. Wolves lunged, snapping teeth and snarling fury, but the alpha moved faster. He roared, a sound that cracked the night, and the force of it sent half the pack staggering back. He shifted mid-motion, his body exploding into fur and muscle, a beast of gold and shadow. His wolf towered above them, eyes blazing as he slashed and tore, forcing them to retreat. I stumbled away, clutching my arm, my pulse wild with terror, not just at the pack, but at myself. They had seen. They knew. I was exposed. I should have run, disappeared into the night before either side decided my death was the safer choice. But I couldn't move. My gaze locked on him, his wolf fighting against his own kind, ripping through every challenger, savage and unrelenting. He fought for me. My chest ached, torn between awe and agony. Because when this was over, when the blood dried and the fury calmed, he would know the truth, that the girl he claimed as his was the very thing his pack had been born to destroy. One wolf broke past his defense, lunging at me. Instinct took over. My body moved on its own. Fangs pierced my lips before I realized it, and with a hiss I struck, faster than human, stronger than I should have been. My teeth sank into the wolf's neck, not to kill, but to drive him back. The copper taste of blood hit my tongue warm, intoxicating, and for a heartbeat, I lost myself. Gasps erupted from the circle. Not fear, not anger, recognition. Vampire. Someone spat, the word like poison in the air. The alpha whipped around, golden eyes locking on me. His wolf form faltered, shifting back into the man I had first seen in the clearing. Blood streaked his chest, his breath ragged, but his stare, oh gods, his stare burned more than any wound. You lied to me. His voice was broken glass. Fury and heartbreak woven together. My lips trembled, stained with red. I didn't choose this, I whispered. His chest heaved, torn between rage and something else, something softer, desperate, warring inside him. His pack growled, demanding the kill, their eyes on him, waiting for their alpha's judgment. And in that moment, I realized the truth that hollowed me to the bone. His fury wasn't because I was a vampire. It was because he was bound to me anyway. No choice. No escape. The bond had already sealed our souls. His gaze seared into me, golden fire against the night, and I couldn't breathe. The word vampire still echoed in the clearing like a curse, hissed by his pack, spat like venom into the soil itself. They had seen my fangs, the blood on my lips, my most carefully guarded secret ripped into the open. And yet, it wasn't their hatred that shattered me. It was his. You should have told me. His voice was hoarse, trembling with rage, but beneath it was something far worse hurt. I tried, I whispered, though we both knew it was a lie. I had hidden it, hoping against hope that whatever bond pulled us together would be strong enough without the truth. My chest ached, burning with shame. The pack snarled in unison, closing in. Their hunger for violence hung heavy in the air, but none dared strike until he gave the command. Their alpha, their leader, my fate. Kill her, someone shouted from the back, the scarred wolf's voice sharp with fury. She's a parasite, a danger to us all. End it. The demand sent a ripple through the pack. They wanted blood. They wanted proof that their alpha's judgment hadn't been compromised. He stood there, chest rising and falling, torn in a way I had never seen a man torn before. His fists clenched at his sides, his jaw tight. He was at war with himself, and I knew in my bones this choice would break us both. At last, he raised his hand, silencing the pack. His eyes never left mine. Leave us. The command was quiet but absolute. The wolves hesitated, exchanging uneasy glances, but no one disobeyed. One by one, they slinked back into the forest, growls fading into the distance, until only we remained beneath the fractured moonlight. The silence that followed was unbearable. I swallowed hard. Say it. Whatever you're thinking. Just don't look at me like that. Like what? His voice cracked like thunder. Like I want to tear you apart and kiss you at the same time. Like every instinct in me is screaming to end you. But my soul... He broke off, dragging a hand through his hair, his chest heaving. My soul refuses to let go. The rawness in his words cut deeper than any blade. My throat tightened, tears pricking hot at the corners of my eyes. I never asked for this, I whispered. You think I wanted to be this? His head snapped toward me, eyes blazing. You think I wanted this? To be bound to something I should hate? To have my pack watch me betray them with every breath I take near you? His voice shook, but his body trembled, not with hatred, no. With restraint. We stood there, fire and ice colliding, and for one suspended moment, I thought we might break. But then he moved. One step, then another, until he was so close the heat of him bled through my skin. His hand shot out, gripping the side of my face, rough and trembling. His thumb brushed against my jaw, and I swore the earth itself tilted beneath us. This is madness, he breathed, voice low, torn. I know, I whispered, my lips brushing his palm. And then he kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was a clash, a war. His mouth devouring mine with the desperation of someone who hated themselves for needing it. My body melted into him, my hands gripping his shoulders as if letting go would mean death. Every nerve in me ignited. Every drop of blood in my veins screamed yes. For the first time in my cursed existence, I felt whole, but the bliss shattered as suddenly as it came. A sharp whistle split the air, high and shrill, echoing through the forest. His body stiffened, lips tearing from mine. His eyes darted toward the trees, gold flashing with alarm. What is it? I asked, breathless, terrified by the shift in him. They've called a blood oath, he growled, his voice trembling with fury. The pack. They've gone to the elders. My chest collapsed. A blood oath was no simple punishment. It was a binding decree, ancient and absolute. If upheld, it meant only one thing: my death, by his hand. He looked at me then, horror flickering across his face as the truth sank in. The choice was gone. The decision was no longer his. No, I whispered, shaking my head, my heart pounding so loud it drowned the world. Tell me you won't. His hands shook as he reached for me, as if afraid he'd never touch me again. I can fight them, he said, though the desperation in his tone betrayed the lie. I can make them see. A rustle cut him off. From the shadows, figures emerged, hooded, cloaked, their eyes like hollow fire. The elders. They had come for me, and him. Alpha, one of them intoned, voice carrying the weight of centuries. You are bound by law. Deliver the vampire to us, or you too will face judgment. His hand slipped from my face, his body rigid with dread. And in that instant I knew. Whatever happened next would destroy one of us, or both. The elders' voices carried like the toll of a funeral bell. Deliver her, the eldest commanded, his shadow stretching long across the clearing. Or forfeit your crown, your pack, and your life. The Alpha, my Alpha, stood between them and me, his chest rising and falling like a man holding back a storm. His body was taut, trembling with the violence he fought to restrain. I wanted to scream, to tell him not to choose me, not to damn himself for something that should never have been. But the words caught in my throat, because no matter how much I wanted to protect him, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. My soul was already his, and losing him would be worse than losing my life. He turned his head slightly, just enough that I could see the flicker in his eyes. Pain, conflict, love, and then his voice, low but sharp as a blade. No. The clearing gasped with the sound. No? The eldest repeated, his voice cutting like ice. I won't give her to you. He stepped forward, shoulders squared, a king standing against his own kingdom. She is mine, bonded by blood and soul. If you want her, you'll have to take us both. The pack stirred, growls rising like thunder. The elders' faces hardened, their eyes glowing faintly, power gathering in their palms. They didn't bluff. They would destroy us both. Terror twisted in my chest, but alongside it came something else, a burning clarity. This was my fault. I had walked into his forest, hidden my truth, pulled him into a bond he never asked for. And now he was ready to lose everything because of me. No. I wouldn't let it happen. I stepped from behind him, ignoring the way his arm shot out to block me. Wait. My voice was unsteady but loud enough to still the clearing. All eyes turned to me, the pack, the elders, and him. Especially him. If the law demands blood, I whispered, forcing the words past the lump in my throat. Then take mine. His head whipped toward me, fury and fear colliding in his gaze. Don't you dare. I turned to face him fully, tears burning my eyes. I can't let you lose everything for me. Not your pack. Not your life. You were born for this, and I was born a curse. The words cracked me open, the truth spilling out raw. I fought it my whole life, but I can't deny it anymore. I'm not just vampire. I'm not just human. I'm nothing but a mistake, and loving me will destroy you. His face contorted, his hand gripping my wrist so tightly I felt his pulse hammering. Don't you ever call yourself a mistake? His voice was savage, breaking. You think I have a choice in this? That I wanted to love you? I tried to fight it, gods, I tried. But fate doesn't care what we want. His forehead pressed against mine, breath hot and desperate. I would burn this entire forest, my pack, the elders, everything before I'd let them take you. The elders' chant rose, ancient words filling the air, thick with power. The ground trembled, the trees groaning under the weight of their magic. My body shook with terror, but his arms tightened around me, anchoring me against the storm dot. And then I realized if they killed him, if they stripped him of his crown, the bond between us would shatter in agony. He would die because of me. Unless I closed my eyes and reached deep inside, into the hunger I had always feared, the darkness that had stalked me since birth. The vampire within me stirred, hissing, greedy, eager to be unleashed. For years I had caged it. Tonight, I tore the cage open. My veins ignited, crimson fire surging through me. When I opened my eyes, the world burned in shades of red. The elders froze, their chants faltering as the air thickened with the force of my awakening. The wolves staggered back, fear flickering in their golden eyes. The alpha's grip on me tightened, but he didn't recoil. Not even as my fangs lengthened, not even as my voice split with power not my own. Enough. The word wasn't a plea. It was a command, laced with centuries of hunger, fury, and something older than both vampire and wolf. The elders faltered, their magic quivering like a flame in the wind. One of them whispered, fear crackling through his voice. She's not just vampire. But before I could grasp what he meant, the power roared out of me, tearing through the clearing in a wave of scarlet light. The elders staggered, thrown back, their cloaks whipping as the forest itself shook. Silence fell. stunned and heavy. My knees buckled, the energy draining from me as quickly as it came. He caught me, lowering me to the earth, his arms cradling me against his chest. His voice was hoarse, broken, but filled with awe. "What are you?" I wanted to answer, but the words dissolved on my tongue. My vision blurred, the world slipping away. All I knew was the heat of his embrace, the tremor in his hands as he held me tighter, and the unspoken truth in his gaze: he would never let me go. Not even now. Not even after this. But in the shadows, the elders were rising again, and the look on their faces told me the worst was still to come. The forest held its breath. The elders rose from the ground, their cloaks tattered, their faces twisted with something I had never thought possible: fear. Their eyes burned as they looked at me, not with hatred alone, but with recognition. They knew what I was, even if I didn't. The Alpha's arms were around me, holding me as though his grip alone could keep the world from tearing me away. His voice was raw, feral. "Stay back." The elders ignored him, their focus fixed on me. "She is not merely vampire," one whispered, voice heavy with dread. "She carries the blood of the first." The words slammed into me, strange yet terrifyingly familiar. The hunger that had erupted inside me wasn't just a curse, it was inheritance. Old, primal, older than wolves, older than the elders themselves. My body shook with weakness, but I forced my head up. "If I am what you say," I rasped, "then know this: I won't bow to you. I won't be your weapon. I choose—" My voice broke as I turned to him, my Alpha, the man who had defied everything to stand at my side. "I choose him." The pack rustled in the shadows, growls and gasps filling the clearing. The elders stiffened, their hands twitching with restrained fury. "You dare defy law?" He answered for me, his voice ringing like thunder. "No law is stronger than the bond we carry. Not yours, not fate's, not even death's." His words ignited something inside me. The bond between us surged, molten and unbreakable, wrapping around my soul like chains forged of fire and blood. I felt it pulse through me, not as curse, but as power. Together, we weren't prey. Together, we were unstoppable. The elders unleashed their fury, chanting words older than language, their magic swelling until the night itself seemed to scream. Light tore across the clearing, jagged and blinding. But he didn't let go of me. His hand found mine, our blood mingling as he pressed his palm to my wound. "Say it with me," he growled, his forehead against mine, his eyes burning with love and defiance. "Blood to blood, soul to soul." The words tore from my throat, raw and desperate. Blood to blood, soul to soul. The earth shook, the air cracked, and in that instant, our bond fused into something eternal. Fire and shadow twined through my veins, wolf and vampire, predator and predator, until we were one. The power burst outward, a shockwave of light and dark that threw the elders back, their chants silenced in screams. When the light faded, they were gone. Not dead vanished, cast out into whatever void had first birthed them. The clearing lay in silence, the pack scattered in stunned awe. Every eye was on us, on him, their Alpha, on me, their enemy, and now something far more. I swayed, exhaustion dragging me down, but his arms held me firm. His voice was soft now, breaking apart the silence. "It's over." "No," I whispered, my throat raw. "It's just beginning." Because I could feel it. The change in the bond. The shift in the blood that now tied us together. I wasn't only bound to him. I was bound to his pack. To this forest. To this war, and yet, for the first time, I didn't feel like a mistake. I looked into his eyes, golden, fierce, softened only for me, and saw the man who had chosen me against all odds. The alpha who had defied law, destiny, even death. I was born a curse, I whispered, tears slipping down my cheeks. But you made me a promise. You made me a gift. His lips brushed mine, tender now, reverent. You were never a curse. You were always meant to be mine. The pack stirred, uneasy, but none dared defy him now. Not when the earth itself had answered to our vow. They might hate me. They might never accept me. But they had witnessed what even the elders could not destroy. As dawn bled slowly into the sky. I leaned into him, my body heavy with exhaustion, but my heart alight with something fiercer than hope. Love. I knew the path ahead would not be easy. There would be battles, betrayals, nights when the hunger threatened to consume me. But I would not face them alone. I was bound to him, bound to her alpha's soul. And some bonds no law or power could break. The forest began to stir again, whispers of wind and rustling leaves filling the silence the elders left behind. A new day was coming, a dangerous one. But for now, I let myself rest in the truth I had finally claimed. That love wild, forbiddance, eternal was stronger than fate. And it was ours.